Welcome to Global Affairs, International Relations, and Geopolitical Briefings. This time in perspective. BRICS Summit raises possibility of petrodollar replacement. How is this expected to go? Let's find out in this briefing. According to Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov, the BRICS countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, will discuss the creation of a shared currency during a summit in August in South Africa. The summit will take place in South Africa. He stated that serious, self-respecting countries are well aware of what is at stake and wish to construct their own systems to ensure sustainable growth. These mechanisms will be shielded from the influence of external factors. Lavrov also stated that despite what he considers to be illegal pressure from the West, Russia and Angola have a firm intention to strengthen cooperation in all spheres of activity. According to him, the Western world now employs the same colonial methods with which it exploited developing continents, which it utilizes to plunder foreign countries and use resources of global importance to its advantage. He also stated that by its actions, the West had demonstrated that all of the values and mechanisms of globalization that it itself had created and promoted, such as the inviolability of property, fair competition, and the presumption of innocence, can be trampled on at any moment, and that it can also betray its allies at any moment. Specifically, he mentioned the inviolability of property, fair competition, and the presumption of innocence. Lavrov made the remark that Russia is in favor of the notion of reforming the United Nations Security Council while he was having a conversation with Tate Antonio, his colleague from Angola. The reformation would center on expanding the number of countries from Africa, Asia, and Latin America in the organization's leadership positions. In addition to this, he stated that Moscow had begun a special military operation in February of last year in order to halt an anti-Russian course and avoid the transformation of Ukraine into a territory for creating threats for Russia. The Washington Post and the other sources that were cited were utilized to gather information for this briefing. The author is not affiliated with or holds any securities related to this organization in any capacity. This is not a suggestion to purchase or sell anything. Before ever purchasing a security product, you should always conduct more research and talk to an expert. There are no licenses held by the author. According to news that were being followed on Friday here in this location, the BRICS group of countries is reportedly considering the creation of a new currency that will compete with the dominance of the US dollar as the primary medium for international settlements. Officials from the 5 member states are reportedly working on the mechanisms of the proposed currency as part of an effort by the grouping to minimize the exposure of its members to manipulation and other punitive actions by the West. This move is seen as an attempt by the grouping to decrease the exposure of its members to reduce the exposure of its members to other punitive actions by the West. Alexander Babakov, the deputy chairman of Russia's State Duma, stated that the BRICS countries are currently working on the creation of a new form of currency, and that they are anticipated to give ideas on the development of this new form of currency at the forthcoming summit that will take place in South Africa in the month of August. The move toward settlements in national currencies is the first step, said the official. The next stage is to make it possible, in the not-too-distant future, for digital currency or some other kind of fundamentally new currency to be in circulation. Babakov made his remarks on Thursday on the sidelines of the Russian-Indian Strategic Partnership for Development and Growth Business Forum in New Delhi. The forum was held in conjunction with the Russian-Indian Strategic Partnership for Development and Growth Business Forum. I think that at the BRICS Leaders Summit, the readiness to realize this project will be announced. Such works are underway, Babakov added. He went on to say that the proposed currency might not just be backed by gold, but also by other product categories or rare earth elements. He did not rule out the potential that BRICS could eventually unite under a common currency. The 5 greatest emerging economies in the world are all members of the BRICS economic bloc: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Several more nations have expressed an interest in becoming members of the BRICS economic bloc: Argentina, Iran, Indonesia, Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt are some examples of these countries. The idea of establishing a new currency emerges at a time when governments from the West, Russia, and China are competing to capture the support and confidence of African heads of state. As a result of tensions between the West and Russia about Russia's war in Ukraine, as well as tensions between the United States and China regarding Taiwan, this scramble has arisen. That's where we wrap things up for the time being. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.